So this is the photograph that I'm going to be working from. It's a photograph I took in Blakeney, Norfolk. So enjoy. I start my paintings in many different ways. In this particular instance, I decided to use a black gessoed canvas, and I quite enjoyed it. I'd never used this before. I start with the objects that are farthest away from me in the landscape, and ignoring the photograph to some degree, because photographs tend to keep everything sharp and in focus, and I want the trees in the distance to be very soft and low chroma. As we come forward in the painting, I like to obviously increase the chroma, because that is how it is in nature. For painting the reeds, I am using mainly a rigger brush or a liner brush, so I can get a really nice fine point to it. But you probably notice I'm also using a fan brush to get some of the tips of the grasses, or get that sort of delicate look. Obviously at this point I'm not following the photograph in terms of counting every single blade of grass, but just want to give the general impression of what's going on here. It's a good idea to have something to rest your hand on. I'm using a mold stick, but really just a piece of 3/8 of an inch dowel from your local hardware store will do the trick nicely. Reflections are generally a deeper tone than the color of the object that is being reflected. However, this color is also influenced by what's under the water and sometimes what's happening in the sky, of course. I am working with oil paints, and that means painting in layers. So for example, I have to let the water paint completely dry before painting these little reeds on that are sticking out of the water. Otherwise I'm going to pick up too much of that blue that would still be wet after a day or so. So obviously this is painted over several days. You probably guessed that already. Many of these shades of green that I'm painting are made up of black with cad yellow. Black tends to lean towards blue anyway, so you get a green shade. And then I've added a little burnt umber to warm things up as they get nearer to the front of the picture. Everything tends to get warmer. When I said black, of course, I meant ivory black. That is the black I tend to use more than any other. This is just my second video on YouTube, but I am working on several others. So please subscribe, and that way you won't miss any of the new ones coming up, including some on alla prima and still life painting as well. The brush I'm using here is from Rosemary & Co. Handmade brushes in Yorkshire, England. And this is the Series 315. I'm using a number 2 here. It's great for blades of grass and fine detail. It holds its shape well. obviously we're on the home stretch now. Just a couple more minutes to go, at least in this video. Longer in real life, of course. But wait till the end, because I will show you the finished painting at the very end of this video. Hope you've enjoyed it. So this is the speed that I'm actually painting at. I really don't have super fast hands and speed across the canvas like a mad thing. I usually take my time. I find this type of painting quite therapeutic, actually.